So it was about 2 weeks ago I made my original video on the Kiwi Smart products that I was sent, and I thought they were great. Now, 2 weeks later, that main opinion hasn't changed. I still think they're truly amazing, but I want to go into detail about why I think they are amazing. So in this video, I'm going to show you in detail exactly what they are and how they work, and then I will give you my opinion as to how well they do what they're supposed to do. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. These are the straps for your controllers that Kiwi Smart sent me. As you can see, they go really nicely around the controller. They can be compared to the Mammoth grips, which also go around the controller in this similar fashion, and they also strap onto your hand like this. Essentially what they do is they allow you to fully let go of the controller, and they work great, doing what they're supposed to do. You know, when you're throwing things, you can fully let go and, well, not throw your controller away. It also fixes the problem of when you put someone into VR for the first time and tell them to let go, you know, they can let go and not throw the controller onto the ground, like I have had happen multiple times. But the thing is, these already existed. So how do they compare to the Mammoth grips that already existed? Well, first of all, I have noticed that after long sessions in VR, the Mammoth grips would kind of dig into my hand and leave these two lines going across my knuckles. These don't do that. These have that problem solved. Now, the Mammoth grips would never really feel uncomfortable to me, but those lines, I could kind of feel them there, that they were there. This, however, because it has a larger surface area and it's kind of like a matte finish, kind of rubberized matte finish, it's really, really soft on your hand. Like, that's not going to happen here. Now, a criticism is people have been telling me, I have no issue with it, as you can see, personally, but people have been telling me that this one is harder to get into the right position. But once you get into the right position, you're fully set and you can just completely grab the controller like you would normally. I think that has to do with the fact that you strap it on instead of tightening it like you would the Mammoth grips, but I personally have no issue with that. You might, but once you get it into the right position, it's great. Like, basically what I think you need to do is just have it a little bit loose. Don't have it too tight, because if you have it too tight, it's going to get uncomfortable and it's going to move your hand slightly up like this, and you're not going to be able to reach for those buttons up here. So what I have it is I have it a little bit loose. I still know it's not going to go anywhere if I throw, and it still holds on, and it's really, really comfortable. So that's those. Those are the Kiwi grips. I definitely recommend them. They go about £15 on Amazon. And again, all the links to these things will be down in the description below in case you want to buy them, and I would definitely recommend it. They totally enhance your VR experience, like I had said in the previous video. These things are great. I'm keeping them on these. And yeah, I've been using them for the past 2 weeks, and not much criticism except for the fact that maybe it's a little hard to get into position at first. But after that, no criticism. You know, I've been using these before with the Quest, except they were the Mammoth grips. So I'm used to these. Now, the second product I was sent, I honestly think this is incredible, and this is probably my favorite one out of them all. It's the pulley system that we set up in the previous video. This is absolutely incredible, and I honestly thought that it wouldn't make that big of a difference. I always saw them and I thought they were really cool, but I didn't think that it would make that big of a difference, or I thought I'd have to drill holes in my ceiling, and it was just an overall negative thought in my head. Now that I have it, I can't live without it. And honestly, if I had known this previously, I would have gotten it myself. But basically, what this one does is, number one, you don't have to drill into your ceiling. We'll talk about that later, because that is also a minus. It has sticky pads that are just so goddamn strong. And they stick onto your ceiling, the pulleys go onto them, they grab the cable, and when you need to go further, the cable gets pulled. You can also adjust them to, you can adjust how far the cable goes into the pulley, how far it sticks out. So I've adjusted mine to be just the least out as possible, so it's as close to the ceiling as possible. And yeah, now let's talk about that negative I was going to talk about. So basically, those sticky pads are so insanely strong that I stuck one on in the wrong place. Now, this is entirely my fault, and if you actually thought it out, this wouldn't have happened. I stuck it into the wrong place and tried to take it off, and I ripped my ceiling off with it. So that's kind of the negative. Don't stick them in the wrong place. You will regret it. So I ended up just sticking it back on so that you can't see the ceiling, but it's in the wrong place. Entirely my fault. But yeah, just don't stick them in the wrong place. They're insanely strong. You do not have to worry about them coming off on their own. It's not going to happen unless your paint on your ceiling's like really bad for some reason. But yeah, basically how these work is you strap the cable up to the ceiling. I bet you've seen these before. And you put the cable kind of behind yourself because, you know, I'd have the cable coming off to the side and it would get in the way when playing Beat Saber. Really annoying. Now that the cable is coming out from behind me and above me, number one, I can't feel it. Number two, it's not getting tangled in my legs. Three, in my hands. And number four, when you kind of want to move away, the cable comes with you because it gets pulled. Therefore, it's just such a smooth action. It's a very, very smooth action. You can barely feel the cable pulling. It's honestly amazing. If you haven't tried these out, I definitely recommend them. If you can, try them out first somewhere, but if you can't, just get them. You won't regret it. Even in this tiny room that I have, it's absolutely tiny. They are working wonders. And if I do ever get a bigger room, I'm taking these with me, with my ceiling. But yeah, absolutely, definitely recommended. Check them out down in the description below. The only negative I have is that they come off with your ceiling. Other than that, the strength that you have to pull at to make them go, really good. You can barely feel it tugging at your head. You can a little bit, but like not really. Like when I was walking all the way over here, I couldn't really tell when it started pulling and when it stopped. But yeah, no, this is honestly truly amazing. Definitely recommended. So I went and got the Quest. This is the Quest, and on it we have the Kiwi Design head strap. I think it's called the head strap for the Quest. And honestly, I showed you how to install this in the last video. I had some problems with this. But in the end, I got it installed. And oh my god, does it make a difference. Like, later on, I'm going to give my mom a try on this. For some reason, during the 2 weeks, she hasn't had a try on this yet. But when my mom was playing, her biggest problem was this was pushing down on her head. Her face. And in fact, that's the problem a lot of other people had. I'm going to take off my Vidmo VR. But now, with this, it puts most of the weight of the Quest up here, which is just, oh yeah, but like, maybe if I had it on the right head size, it would, there we go. So, that's how it works, and I can actually feel the weight of the Quest up here, much less here. I can actually feel it up here now, and it kind of balances it out much, much better than the Quest would normally do, because the Quest itself is very top heavy. I personally never felt it that much, but yeah, people do say that the Quest is very top heavy. When you have this on, it distributes the weight much more evenly because it puts it up here. Of course, people had different ways of doing that. They kind of put power banks at the back and stuff. I guess that works, but when you can have such a nice compact, you know, way of doing it, you can put it, you can still put it in its case, you know, just put on this, put it like that, still put it in its case, and it's very nice, very compact. I say this works much better than putting a power bank on the back, but it's very comfortable. It does exactly what it says it was going to do. I have no negatives to say about this one, because honestly, the installation, well, the installation, maybe that's a negative, because I had a few issues with that, but that, again, could be my stupidity. So, yeah, I honestly have nothing bad to say about this one. It does exactly what it says it's going to do, and I think that makes a product work really, really well. So, summing up, I was a little skeptical at the beginning when I was contacted. Turns out that these products are truly amazing, and if I had known about them earlier, I would have gotten them myself. Because what they do is game-changing for me, especially the pulley system, because I didn't want to play PC VR because I knew that I would get annoyed because of the cable when I was playing Beat Saber or when I was playing VR chat. Now, I actually go into VR a lot more because I'm happy to do so, and the cable doesn't annoy me. Now, I always play the Quest, and always will. This is the one I take everywhere with me. This is the one I take on trips. But Kiwi Design has honestly made my life in VR a lot better, and I do recommend you guys check it out. Don't touch the pulleys once they're on your ceiling. Just don't. And don't fail while putting them on. I mean, unless you're like a painter or something. So if you guys liked this video, make sure to give it a like. If you want to see future videos like these, subscribe, ding my bell. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments below. See you again in my next video. Peace. Because I remember back in the day when I was criticized for my audio quality and I got this microphone. What you gonna say now? It's a very good microphone. Yeah. Anyway. I'm back. I'm back. There it is.
I'm back.
Okay, Discord, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to record a video. Go away. Like, what even is this?
McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Hey, you're still recording. Good. Don't fail on me.